All right, now that we've done our meditation to ground us in our lesson today, and we've got all our text set up, let's go ahead and dive in. Today, we're going to be talking about variables. This is a continuation of our conversations about how to set up experiments. In experiments, variables are the things that we are changing. So they're anything that could change in a scenario. So if we take this plant, for example, what are some things that could change as the plant goes about its life? And feel free to unmute and throw out any options.
The height, it gets taller.
Great, thank you, Will. Andrew, what did you have?
The color could change.
Definitely, the color could totally change.
Maybe the amount of water that it gets.
Yeah, those kind of outside factors also are changing. Are there anything else? Yes, Will.
The number of leaves.
Great. So these are all examples of things both in the environment and in the plants that could change as it's growing. So in an experiment, all of those things that we can change are variables, and we can group them into three types of variables. The independent variable is one specific variable that we as the experimenter want to change. So that's what we're changing to test what then happens. The dependent variable is what changes as a result of our direct manipulation. And then everything else that you guys mentioned, we want as control variables. So we want to make sure that those don't change so that we're making sure that we're testing the effect of just the one independent variable on the dependent variable. So this kind of creates a cause and effect relationship of what we change at the beginning and then what gets changed as a result by the end. So this is that independent and dependent variable relationship. Are there any questions so far about this? Yes, John.
So for the plant, would the number of leaves be the dependent variable? Because that might change.
Yeah, so if we wanted to test how many leaves grow on a plant, we could change something like the soil to see then how many leaves grow on the plant. So that would be kind of what that cause and effect relationship would look like. I've got a little chant for us so that helps kind of stick in your mind, because that independent variable versus dependent variable can be hard to keep track of. So I'm going to say the white, and then we're all going to say the red. What do we change to begin? The variable that starts with in. What do we measure when it ends? The variable that depends. One more time from the top. What do we change to begin? The variable that starts with in. What do we measure when it ends? The variable that depends. Awesome. Okay, so now we're going to practice a little bit at identifying those kinds of variables in scenarios like you were saying, John. So everyone's got their pull everywhere up. A couple tips for this: we're identifying both variables, both that independent variable that we're changing at the beginning and the dependent variable at the end. And if the question's in blue, you're looking for those two true answers. And if the question is red, you're looking for the two false answers. All right, so our first one here should be all activated. You water plants with different amounts of water, then measure how tall they grow. Which two statements are true? What is the independent variable in this scenario, and what is the dependent variable? Feel free to click on whichever character you think is the one. Amazing. Oh my gosh, amazing job, you guys. So this is true. The amount of water is what we as the experimenter are changing at the beginning. And then we are measuring how the plant will grow as a result of that, how that affects the plant height. So that makes the plant height the dependent variable. We're going to go through a couple more of these.